Hey, what is up everybody, Blazer here, and today I have for you another video of Black Clover Mobile. And inside of this video, guys, we're going to be talking about one of the things that was referenced in the interview yesterday, which was a NPC event. Yes, now this is something that was quite interesting. I took a little bit of an interest into it, so that's what we're going to be going into. I'm going to be giving out my thoughts on this as well, what it could be. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. But right before we get into it, all I have to say is thank you, beautiful people, all for supporting the channel. Once again, we're finally at 156 subscribers here. Been killing it on the views, of course, lately. Yesterday's video was already at 125, and the day after that we got to 203. You guys are straight up murdering it out here. Loving you guys' amazing heartwarming comments. It keeps me going, keeps me pushing for this game. And tomorrow's actually going to be our first month technical anniversary of the channel. So it's been so far almost one whole month, and we are almost at 160 subscribers. I gotta say, you guys are freaking amazing. Thank you all for such amazing support, and hopefully we can continue doing that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Now, if you guys didn't watch the last video I did, which was an in-depth special interview with Black Clover, the Black Clover devs here, be sure to go ahead and check that out, because I went really in depth with the whole interview here of things that they were going over. But one of the fine points that they went over in the interview, which I'm going to have on the screen right now, was the likelihood of most likely having a NPC event. Now, this was kind of interesting that they talked about this here, and I feel like this would be kind of interesting here. Now, I have my reasons for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it for you if you guys didn't hear it. And they said GW here, who was interviewing Troy and Big Studios, asked in the preview that there was a scene that we could see operate Asta and run around the capital freely. But is it possible to do the same in other cities or other characters, with other characters, as well as many NPCs we're seeing in the Royal Capital? But will there be a specification that allows you shopping and quests? Now, we kind of were hit around the bush with this here, in which they just said they wanted to reproduce this game with the main places with the main characters, so it feels more immersed, right? But one of the main things that caught me off guard here, or caught me by surprise, that I got really interested in, was they said we are also considering creating an event with a major person or NPC at each site. Now, this is fairly interesting here, because the game hasn't even dropped yet, and they're already thinking about like ultra cool events and stuff like that, stuff that will be really grabbing to the audience here, right? Now, what curious me about this, or makes me curious about this NPC event here, is we have a couple of those. Now, we do know, of course, the Big Studios are also queued with Pearl Abyss, which are people who also made Black Desert. So they're going to be one of our options here today of what I'm going to be comparing here. So if we go ahead and look at my screen right here, we can look at this in the browser. I have a couple NPC events that could be likely happening, and here's the reasons why. Now, number one is going to be Genshin Impact's type of NPC event here. Now, there's one event where you have this merchant that's usually in the main city, which is Mondstadt here, that you would normally trade with. Now, he was at Liyue, I think the other city, once or so, and he can be found usually all around the area. As you can see that we have him around these different areas here. And what you would normally do is when you talk to him by day, he asks for certain things that you need to go get or go find here. You bring it back to him, he gives you like either a gift and some currency and stuff like that. Now, seeing that this is going to be an event that's based on an NPC that is widely spread through different areas here, how it sounds like here, it reminds me a lot of Lieben here, which is this Marvelous Merchandise event NPC. Now, with this being amazing, this is a great event to kind of wrap your head around and actually have early on or anytime anywhere, even as an opening release event, because one, you get more currency, you can get different items, materials, and stuff that you may very well need, and this will wrap players in as well as keep them a little bit interested and intrigued on the next events to come. I do feel like this is going to be one of the events that they probably are talking about. If anything, it's going to be something similar to it, because seeing that this man is usually around in different areas that you can just talk to, trade with, and get goodies from, I feel like Black Clover might very well try and do the same thing, especially seeing from what they literally said here, and it's going to be a major person or NPC at each site. Now, in case you guys don't want to think about that event and you want a different event here, we do have another one. Now, this one's a little bit less as exciting here, but it is something that can happen. Now, this is from Grand Cross here, in which this is something I say they would, if they were to do it like this, gold would be a little bit easier to go around since it's the beginning of the game, 1. 2, I do feel like that they would up the amount of rewards that you get from this. Now, this is the village donation reward, which usually in Grand Cross you would get these things to upgrade your characters, which are R pendants, SR pendants, and SSR pendants. These are usually help to make your box from this here to actually being like UR, SSR, stuff like that, getting up your characters pretty much. So from getting these, you have of course the 6 villages that you would go to. You would donate $1 mil to each one, so $6 mil in total, and you would get around at least 6 SSR pendants, 6 SR pendants, and 6 R pendants. Now this would be cool of course to have, but I find it a little bit lackluster as an NPC event, and they said a major NPC is going to be involved. I highly doubt they do something like this, just because unless they're giving out way more materials than this, I would not find that as a major or cool event really, especially if it's like an opening event for the game itself. It would not be very cool whatsoever. So this is kind of on the lesser spectrum of things if you're going with the grant, like with the whole event NPC type of deal. I would definitely rather like support the Genshin Impact type of deal when it comes to like the Marvelous Merchant, but they could do something a little bit like this, seeing that they worked with Netmarble quite a lot for this game, and you know, they might have a little bit of at least inspirations every now and again from this game, of course, whether it's model storyline, what the heck, storyline, or just like other random events they could possibly have just different inspirations off of. And they want to build on that and try to make it better. But I do still see like one of the major things coming to this, and I'll explain that at the end. But another thing that I thought about was the Black Desert NPC event here. Now, Black Desert has a ton of NPC events, and the reason why I'm bringing up Black Desert is because it's with Pearl Abyss. Now, Pearl Abyss usually helps run Black Desert, or actually develop that as well here. And so I would think they would do something like this as well. Now, in Black Desert, you usually have this NPC or a couple NPCs in each of these little regions here. I think I've actually played this event, I think once or twice when I played Black Desert here. And normally what you do, you just go to the event, you go to the region here, and you have to do a couple things in each territory. Once you get through doing the territory events, such as like collecting certain things in these type of areas and stuff like that, what you would end up doing, you come back to this man, give him what he needs, or have the 4 things that he has accomplished, and which then you get to claim certain events or certain drops and stuff from it. Along with this, once you finally complete everything, you then get a buttload of stuff. So like for Black Desert on this one here, you receive not only the knowledge, but you also get to receive combat camps and different little Black Spirit things that go inside of Black Desert. A lot of different goodies here. Now, this is something they could possibly do. Seeing that they are working with Pearl Abyss, and Pearl Abyss does pitch in every now and again when it comes to thoughts on different things, but they said they're going to be helping out little but needed when they need to be. This can still be an option. Now, is it going to be the best of options? Probably not, probably yes. We don't really know on that aspect, but this is definitely a shot in the dark for it being a pretty decent option as well, seeing that it's something that they're more fond of, something that they're at least working aside of. You would think they would take a little bit of a hint from the people who they are working with. So this is always something you guys can go with. But overall, out of these 3, you guys tell me which one you may think it's gonna be. But right before we end off this video, I want to say this. I'm giving you one last reason why I think it's going to be like MiHoYo's, right? Or something better than MiHoYo's. Now, Big Studio has a thing of calling out MiHoYo quite a lot and referencing themselves as the villain instead of the hero of the story. They want the villain to conquer, right? So this way, I feel like they're going to go with the MiHoYo side of things here, but they're going to elaborate on it a little bit more. So they're going to do something like this type of event here, and they're going to elaborate on it, make it way better, make it way more nice to the players. Now, this event was always very gracious to some of the players, but we wanted more. So seeing that they're trying to pass MiHoYo, which is such a big built up company, which we know of course are making Star Rail, they have freaking Honkai, they have Genshin, they have like these big title games. They're really trying to actually get ahead of that, and they seem to have a little bit of a definite goal to get ahead of them. So I feel like if they did an event like this, not only would it be a slap in the face to MiHoYo, but then they'd be like, hey, guess what? We give more stuff and give this even more to extend it a little bit further, to rub salt in the wound, if you think about it. So with that, that's all I gotta say for this little cup of tea right here. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new. You guys are freaking killing it, bro. Our stinking things are going crazy, and I'm loving every last one of y'all for it. Keep up the great work. I'll keep up my side of it, and I'll keep on supporting every last one of you guys with anything needed, where it's speculation videos, real-time videos with news, interviews, you name it, guys. I'll be sure to get it out. So till next time, everybody, peace out and have a nice day.